Hi, Shirley here. Midsummer at the moment, but we're in Tasmania, so it's cool. And I'm setting up for a painting on the beach. I'm going to do a watercolour. In the background here, it's Bob, who's photographing Honey, I think. And I'll just turn the camera now and show you the scene, and I'll show you my setup, and then we can get started. So here's my view. I'm not sure where to put the horizon, whether to put the horizon up. I'm thinking I'll put the horizon down and take a bit more sky, and I might take some liberties with the type of sky I put in. But on the other hand, I really like this edge along here, which might mean I could go for a vertical format and not worry so much about the sea out there. And, I'll just show you. Oh. Honey is supposed to be on a leash, this beach, so she's dragging a leash. It doesn't seem to faze her. She doesn't care one way or the other, although when it's off she goes nuts, I must admit. So anyway, that's my view, and I shall now work out what I'm going to do. Sadly, it's not a sunny day. It's a very dull day. I think there's a sun up there somewhere. But we'll see how we can make it into a pretty painting. And I'll do a composition or... So I'll just put some water in there first. Right, I've got a new pack of Reeves mixed media brush set, which somehow I'll work out how to open. I'm going to do my watercolour with a large brush at this stage, a really large one. What do they do here? They glue them down so they don't go anywhere in the shop. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, nothing's easy. It's got a little patch of foam on the back. It's an old one I had, a new one. So they're pretty good. They last a while, these Reeves. So I have my blues and watercolours from before without having cleaned out the trays. I'll just put my paper aside. I'll quickly give these a little clean because I leave them dirty because I might want to use them, that paint. I don't want to waste it. I'll just see what colours I've got here might be useful. Nice, it's a nice mauve, but I just don't know that I've got it out there at the moment. Which means I put a lot of, the way I clean is to put a lot of water in, and then I'll just tip it all out into the bushes, not on the sand. Oops, Shirley. I'm such an idiot, honestly. Now, just managed to spoil that page. Not quite, but it's one of these demonstrations is to show just how difficult it is to paint when you're out free, plein air painting. So I'm going to get some brown on my brush and do a quick layout just with the very pale colour. The amazing thing about this scene that I'm at is it goes up there and it comes down. Just hoping you can see that okay. And there's a large amount of grasses and beach, sort of the dirt that's built up beside. It's sand and rock really, I guess. So I'm reaching in for the various browns that I've got at the moment, just as a touching a bit of blue. Let's get some of this layout areas. So that I'm going to put a couple of very big rocks in the foreground. They're my stars. Now, the ocean has a greeny blue about it. Sky is very, very purple. Oh, it's kind of purpley. I'll put some water across there for the sky to start with. I've just got water on the brush at the moment. Just going to dig into. I don't know if you can see me doing that. I'm just getting a whole lot of different blues on my brush. Luckily it turned out to be purple. Beautiful. Scrub that back a bit. Make it stronger at the top. Some stains on that paper won't matter at this stage. Now, the water I'll get a greener, definitely a greener blue. So I'll mix one of my ultramarine blues with a bit of green there. Just going to leave a tiny bit of white there so it doesn't run in. Bring that right around. And I'll get the pattern of the waves going. Bit of bleeding happening here between those colours. I'm not too worried about that. Just looking for a suitable orangey pinky colour that is the sand, but it's also because it's a dull day, the sand has got a lot of just plain old burnt umber type hues to it. So I just see. See how they go. Yeah. Okay. Down to the foreground. Foreground's going to be a lot of fun. Beginning to think I need an easel. I have got one back in the motorhome. And I think I might have to go back and get one. This will be a good trial. I'm not concentrating here, I'm just putting browns on. Blues and browns. Top there. As this dries off, I'll be able to get a lot harsher detail in there. Putting brown and green together. Ultramarine, burnt umber, ultramarine umber, no, sorry, burnt umber, burnt sienna, so sap green. Patterns up in the sky. Okay. Now this area here is going to be my highlight. Go for some dark blues, dark greens together. A lovely big rock here that's blue. Oh, not that type of blue, but it doesn't matter. Put a blue down like that and something. Let's put a bit of brown into it. a couple of them. Yes, coming out of the sand. Lots of smaller ones. Oh. Okay. Oh. Something tells me this is not going to work too well. There's a couple of things I've come out without, and one of them is a rag. Okay, I'll blend that back in again. Got some tissues, they're not the same. So I'm going to go ultramarine blue and burnt umber together to make a nice dark colour. This brush is so wide, I'm sort of getting brown on one side and blue on the other, which I really like. So it's still very wet. It's taking a long time to dry, this paper. So I'll just be able to mark in some of these rocks and come back to them when it's dry. You can use the tip of the brush, the corner of the brush as your point. You can see that okay. Quite a challenge. I think that's better. Okay. Greens and blues. Okay. Foreground. That's fun. I've got a clean batch of water down there, and I'll just quickly add a little bit of detail in the waves, and I think I'll leave it at that for this particular sketch. So I'm getting brown, I'm getting blue on my brush, loading up interesting colours, which is a bit silly because there aren't any bright cut. You know, I shouldn't have them too bright. Well, they might be interesting, but I've got to make them dull. I think a fair bit of ultramarine will dull that off. Okay. Waves into this. Distance. This is where I like to have a good supply of gouache as well. I'm a bit of a cheat when it comes to doing the waves. Okay, I'm adding blue out here now. Now the sky is dry. Nice brush. Strike off that blue. And coming down to the waves. Okay. And the final thing I have to do is detail down the front here on the beach itself. I'll dig into all the reds and the yellows because there's a multitude of colours down here. And I'm just going to scrumble it into the foreground and then slowly work it back up into the beach. So I tap, 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 and then I'll get the clean brush. And I'll just sort of clean it out a little bit with the water. Okay. Right. I've got lots of patterns to put in here, which is the grasses growing up the side there. Some of them are falling down too. But that's a work in itself, getting those patterns working. There's still a bit more over this side. Have to do this while it's wet. And what I'll do in the foreground here is get a bit of dull Payne's grey. I think I've got. Oh, I might have black there. A list below, of course, for all my paints that I'm using. Okay, that is what you call a very quick sketch on the foreground. This is me going silly with my words again. Foreshore. Adding detail now up there because it's drier. I'm doing black and green together. Try that. Nice little neutral colour that you can see. That goes behind. And these ones out in front. And what I need is a nice thin brush for this. Let's see what I bought. Oh yeah, this is nice. I have a Chinese brush. And it's a calligraphy brush. Calligraphy brushes are lovely because they can, if they're well made, they come to a very, very fine point. And you can make them move, they're not stiff. So you can do some lovely colours. Actually, I won't go to reds. I was going to just add some reds, but I think I'll stick to golds and yellows, which is what I can see in the grass there. And I'm just going to put those golds in amongst that grass. I'll add the bright green to it. I'm just smudging my brush down. I'm not doing it all strokes. Some strokes, some not strokes. So I'm just laying into the area. By putting a brighter colour at the foreground here, you do make the picture pop a little bit better. There's a brown rock here, so I feel every right to put in, when I say brown, it's rust colours, so I'm going to put in some nice orangey reds there. A couple more down there for the sake of it. This is where you start to have your artistic license can come in. I'm just half closing my eyes. I'd really like some more of that goldy, yellowy, it's sort of like a cadmium yellow, I think. I'll make some more weeds there coming out in the foreground. Okay. Now, I do have some gouache mixed here from the previous session. What I'll do is wet my brush and dig into that nice white gouache and just see what fun I can have on the water's edge. And sometimes that makes a difference. If I had a table, I'd probably be a little bit more controlled, but I'm not, so this is working off the old lap, off the knees. Yep, not too bad. It's giving a nice wash feel, which is what's out there. Be careful this brush. It's probably misbehave a little bit. Oh, I like the way it's rolling around like that. The way that paint is spreading looks really nice. Just a touch of white here and there. And over in the distance, no, I don't think so. But I can certainly lighten up some of these areas. Yeah. So I'm half closing my eyes and just playing it by ear. This gouache is rolling into the colour there, making really nice patterns and shades. Okay. Just for the fun of it, I might just spray a little bit of the white as well, if I can. Just a touch. Not really the right brush for it, but it'll do. That's all I need. So at the moment, interesting spread on that wave. As I'm talking, it's moving even further. It's going to be a little bit game and put some pink in there. Okay. Bring the eye across to that area. I don't know if you can see me, what I'm doing there, but I'm just fiddling around with this area here. And what I'll probably do later, if I wanted to, is just come over that with the white. Just add that foam. And then add another ring of waves, taking it out that way. So therefore, what that gives me is a very a varied colour scheme, interesting water. Okay. Right. Tiny bit of purple. I'll just test the purple. Or blue. There we go. Just as I'm finishing off here, honey comes up to join. So there's the painting. It's a quick sketch of the beach, and I'm hoping you enjoyed watching me do that. See you in the next one. Okay, just a bit of close up here to show you the detail. And of course my paints, and where I've been situated. Camera, beautiful beach, not many people on it, a few people have come and gone, no one swimming, it's just way too cold. And of course, darling Bobby, darling Honey, looks like Honey's dug a hole. Bob has to get down into it. Oh my gosh. And of course it's all very legal because she has a lead on.